Hi everyone. I want to talk about a difficult subject today. I want to explore why spiritual abuse is so prevalent, especially in plant medicine communities. Actually, I would add in any spiritual community, abuse is prevalent, and there's a couple of core reasons why. One is people entering into a spiritual community are by default typically quite vulnerable. We are seeking help, healing, connection, and we can be very susceptible to the idea of authority, the notion that somebody has this wisdom and connection, and we don't. And we often are seeking outside of ourselves. And so those that hold this kind of power, it is ripe for abuse because we often give our power away. So that is absolutely true in the case of plant medicine ceremonies where people regularly give their power away to the shaman or the facilitator, assuming that they know things that the individual doesn't and that it is safe to give away that power. Sometimes it is, but quite often what happens is people who like the idea of power, who feed off of it, they gravitate towards positions of authority in spiritual communities, including plant medicine guides, in order to satisfy their egoic desire to feel powerful. And so they will intentionally do manipulative and gaslighting techniques in order to gain that power. And this can be expressed in all kinds of really shadowy ways, everything from sexual abuse to grooming, manipulation, getting people to give up money, all kinds of ways in which people use the vulnerability of those seeking healing and solace. So all this means is that we must be very vigilant and protective of ourselves when we enter into these spaces. I also feel like the plants are consistently telling us to hold our own power with a lot of reverence. We don't have to give it away. We can share it. We can be curious about the wisdom that others hold, but we don't ever have to give away our own power in order to get the healing and the spiritual connection, the things that we are seeking. Because if you feel that somebody is manipulating and trying to use this vulnerability, they probably are. And it's okay to trust that. And it's okay to have barriers and boundaries and really ideally not to interface with these people. Because one of the things that happens very, very often with this abuse is it's easy to justify. It is easy to spin a story that whatever abusive behavior the so-called leader is doing is necessary for the individual's, healing and awakening. Abuse is never necessary and it's never justified, but it is easy to also blame the victim that, oh, you're making me do this, or this is what is needed for your healing. Don't fall for that shit. Abuse is never needed in order for us to remember who we are as spiritual beings. So if it feels abusive, it is, and you can do better. Don't let these people in power and authority continue to cause harm. We have to allow it, right? So the moment we take our power back and we create a boundary and say, no, this isn't okay with me, we're doing that on behalf of ourselves and everyone else that may come after us. So remember that the spiritual journey never, ever, ever has to feel abusive. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your discernment. Follow our channel for more content like this soon. Be safe out there.